Got a vinyl floor that I need to patch and repair some areas. I'm How To Bob, and this is how I went about doing it. You can see the floor was cut here because there was carpet around the area and there's part missing. So what I'm going to have to do is fit the new pieces of flooring in to the old. So I'm going to have to take part of it out, and you can see I found the seam here. So I take my heat gun and gently heat the strip, the adhesive strip. Now this is a flooring that has the adhesive strips already applied to it. So I just found my seam here, and once I get it heated up, it reactivates the adhesive so I can get my 7-in-1 tool underneath and kind of work the adhesive loose. And once I get that heated up real good, it really reactivates the adhesive good. So it just pushes its way through very easily, and I just go to the end and I just find the end of it here, and I can peel that out with a screwdriver. I want to save the piece prior to this, so I don't want to damage that, so I'm just working my piece out that's been cut. Anywhere it's been cut, I need to get rid of it because I need to add a non-cut piece so that I can continue on with my run, and you won't even be able to tell that I've replaced any of the flooring. So I just work the adhesive, like I said, around the edges, and it'll eventually come right out. So I want to start the next run here. Now that I've seen my edge, it's really easy just to run the heat gun down. You don't want to get the heat gun too close or get the vinyl too hot, or you'll scorch the vinyl, and then you'll have to end up replacing an additional piece. Once you start, it goes pretty quick, and I just keep heating up. You can see my seam right here, so I'm going to start heating that up and run it down the edge. And I need to replace that one also, so I'll just go ahead and run my heat gun down here, and again removing this piece, I just work the adhesive strip down with the heat gun, and you can use a putty knife, anything real thin that you can get underneath with. So I'm going to save the piece just prior to this, so I got to be careful with that, and I just work back and forth until I get all of the pieces that are damaged. There's a few that are damaged, there's some that are cut around where the carpeting went, and I'll just work my pieces out as I go along. And you see what it looks like once I get done. All these pieces are removed. I had to go all the way back on the one piece because it was damaged, and you see these got some dirt and grit in it, so that's not going to stick very well. And you see that's damaged, it's got the piece underneath it, so I'll have to remove that as well. So I'm going to heat up the adhesive once I got all that goo off there and all the dirt and grit, and I can work this adhesive back flat again and reactivate it again just by heating it up and spreading it around. The new pieces will have some adhesive on the other side as well, so that'll also help. I can also use some tape here. This is made by the manufacturer, and it just goes along the grip strips here to add some more adhesion to it, so I can put that on. Just put a couple strips of that on, then we can take the new floor and lay that down, butt it up against the old floor, and then push it down as hard as I can, line it up, and then I want to go over it with the roller. You always want to roll the seams a couple times here to make sure that you've got a good solid seat in there. And then go to the next piece. I want to take my heat gun and reactivate this adhesive real good, make sure that it's all cleaned out. There'll be some carpet fibers or threads or some kind of dirt, and then I want to go underneath on this right here, make sure that that's pretty clean, and I can heat that up, make sure that's not sticking together there because I have to slide my new piece in, and I'll just heat that up a little bit to reactivate that adhesive. And once I get that warmed up, it doesn't have to be real warm, don't want to burn anything here, scorch the vinyl. I can slide this right underneath of the piece that I'm going to keep, and then once my seam's together, just push it down, push it together, make sure everything's all lined up good. Looks like it's going together fairly well. Make sure it's nice and lined up. That's the trick, is making sure it's lined up. Once I get it all lined up, I'll take my roller again and roll over all the seams. Go over those a couple times. Doesn't hurt to go over them a few times to lock it in. You can see here this one needs to be cleaned out, so I'll heat it up and that'll get the adhesive loose so I can get all this dirt and grime off of there. And if I take too much adhesive off, I want to go ahead and put the tape back on, so that's not a problem if I remove too much. Yep, you can see the adhesive's coming off here, which is okay because I have my tape, and the other piece will have some adhesive on the other side, but it's better to have this all clean so you don't have any lumps down in your floor. And the tape goes on real simple, just goes on. I'll put one row on here, show you how it goes on. Just lay it on straight, make sure it's flat, no wrinkles, bumps or anything. If you have any bumps or anything, it'll show through on the vinyl, and you'll have a spot in the floor that you won't like in the future. So I lay it down, I cut it, and I just peel off the adhesive back here, and I've basically got a new strip of adhesive on my vinyl floor. So good to go here. Make sure the back side is pretty clean here, make sure there's no junk under there, and then I want to heat that up as well. Got that heated up, I can slide my new piece underneath and line it up and press it down by hand to get it in place. And it looks like it fit in there pretty good. So then I'm going to come back and roll over the seams again. That's the nice thing about this kind of flooring. It's easy to install and it's easy to repair. So that's how you repair vinyl flooring. I'm How To Bob. Thanks for watching.